an hour?
En route. He's not.
All right.
Perfect. Oh, I know I should.
Look good. Shoot this.
That's fine with me.
I'm gonna get Joe's jingle. Good times. Let's see. Oh boy. Yeah, I want to see.
This isn't for you, but it could be for all the guys. Okay, ready? Are they in my hand? Are they in my hand?
Where are you?
Really uncalled for. Really uncalled for. Hurtful.
All right.
I know as difficult as it is, keep everybody entertained, start singing.
All right. We'll be. Where are you?
Right around the corner, right around the corner.
All right. Terrific. Well, there you go. All right. We'll be seeing you shortly.
Oh, see, they need to say goodbye. Actually, if you do it loud enough, you'll probably hear from here. On three. 1, 2, 3. Goodbye, Joe. 1, 2, 3.
Goodbye, Joe!
Yeah, he heard that.
Even funnier when he comes here, don't say anything.
Yeah, really, no, seriously. When he does show up,
Nothing.
no applause.
Then give it 10 seconds and then do the applause.
We'll wait till he's seated. We'll just all be really, really silent, and then it's a stare down. But do not applaud for him when he shows up late. It encourages him.
He's incorrigible. He does not need that.
Say, did he ever do that on set?
Always be late?
Was he ever late?
Yep. So is Rachel?
She was probably
I didn't hear
in
your
labor.
insult.
You were labor the day you were late. You probably were.
The baby. Baby.
Baby excuse.
Little late to set today. Having baby.
That's at least a valid excuse.
That's good. Everyone's having a good time? It's a great group here. Thanks for having all of us. It's been a blast.
Ben and I were reminiscing about a moment that we had that was kind of like Farscape versus StarGate. We were at Comic-Con. Our dear little show had just been cancelled. And I'd come and done a guest episode, Prometheus Unbound, on SG-1. And Ben and I were attending Comic-Con, as were the StarGate, the members of the StarGate.
I'm sorry, I just wanted to drink water, sorry.
That's comedy. And when it was time for all of us to leave from our panels, all the StarGate guys came out, and this huge stretch limo appeared, into which they all poured, and off they went back to their hotel to go back to the airport. And Ben and I were standing there, and I kid you not, the vehicle that arrived for us to escort us back to the hotel was a yellow cart.
It's like a golf cart.
Yeah. Basically. But
Not as nice.
But I think it normally delivered parts, like
Toilet paper in the
crates.
back. Yeah, it had crates on the
Yeah, it
back.
had crates on it.
Guys, jump on.
And then someone from security said, oh, wait a minute. We can't take them back. They're going to have to wait for a second because Sarah Michelle Gellar is in the green room and she needs a Diet Coke.
That was the first time we met the StarGate bunch.
So we said, we got to get on that show. And here we are. What? I got nothing else. Nothing.
Hello, Jason.
I beg your pardon. Oh, Kama Sutra? I thought you said Kama Sutra.
That's what I thought you said. I'm like,
I can't believe it. Nobody came. I gave an invitation to a party last night that came over my cell phone. I get these invitations every week. I get another invitation to a party somewhere. I don't know why. So I invited everybody, but nobody showed up.
Really?
Yeah, we got lost. You invited the wrong people. I would have been there.
How could you? You were in my room.
Second choice.
Cameras out there.
Nerves of steel. What's that sound? And those lights!
Why don't we start taking some questions, maybe?
Yeah.
How about that?
I assume we're not stalling for Joe, is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Yeah, we'll start with that.
Just, hey, look, if you came in late, remember the rules. When he shows up.
don't even cheer at
Nothing.
all. Not even 10 minutes, not 10
hard,
seconds
I'm
later.
sorry.
Getting questions to him. And just, this question is not for Joe. Okay? Questions like that.
That'd be good, actually.
There's always one in every color.
Anyway, had a great time working with Jason.
Oh, leave him on.
I apologize.
That's what all I was working on.
Come on, Joe Flanagan right there.
I forgot I had to pack. They said, you need to get out of your room. And I was like, oh, damn. It's amazing what a mess I can make in 24 hours. Thanks for coming.
Make him sing a song.
Sing us a song, Joe.
What's the use of getting sober if you gotta get drunk again? I learned that song from Jason.
My battery's so damn high.
Jason, I think you should show Joe your magic trick.
I think the right hand, should have a ring.
Yeah. That's what I get. I gave him a free place to stay for 2 years. That's what I get.
Jason Momoa, mind freeze.
I think there's.
Waiting people with
Yes.
questions.
Hi, I'd like to know, my family happily waited for over an hour to get into this panel. And the reason I'm asking is I'd like to know, is there any celebrity that you would wait over an hour to get a chance to ask them a question, and who would that be?
Well, we already waited an hour for Joe, so.
Yeah, sorry. God. It's feeling time. Let's see. I would probably wait an hour to meet Muhammad Ali. That'd be cool. Well, maybe
Obama.
Obama.
Oh, yeah.
It's true.
Maybe. Maybe not. I don't know. All right. I pay him a lot of taxes. Maybe not.
I don't know. I really can't. I mean, Obama, certainly, that's a good one.
It's such a self-involved group, you know that? We're like, yeah, I wouldn't wait for anyone. It's crazy.
I think it would be cool to maybe meet Meryl Streep. I mean, I'm a big fan of hers. If I was, going to be able to talk to her personally and ask her some questions, I'd do that. Yeah.
Yeah, I try not to think about these things because there is a small possibility in our universe as actors that we might one day meet those people, and then I become completely stupid and then hate myself for a year afterwards. So I feel the pain. I was waitressing in London, and Princess Diana used to come in and work out of this club where I worked, and I'd never seen her. And on this one particular day, everyone was acting a little bit differently, and they said, she's here, she's here, she's here. And you didn't need to hear the name. We knew who she was and what that meant. And she always wanted a little bit of privacy and to be left alone, because as soon as she would leave the building, the paparazzi would just really hound her. And obviously we know how that ended, so we would always try to do what we could for her while she was in there, because she played tennis there and trained. And so I didn't see her at all. I didn't notice her in the room, but Joyce, our brilliant Irish manageress, had put up all the menus like this around her on the table. So that was her like security screen. Okay, I'll finish the story now. Anyway, so they put these things around her, and I didn't realize that she was hiding behind these genius paper screens. And she came up to, I was working at the counter doing something, and I heard this voice say, "Can I give you this for a muffin and a cappuccino?" And I turned around, and there she was. And I went, "Lucy will take care of that." And ran away. Who would you wait for, Ben?
I had to swear off anything celebrity, because I have a similar story. When I was in drama school in London, I went to see a play, and I flopped down to my seat, and I was waiting for the play to begin, and Dustin Hoffman sat down right next to me. So I'm in drama school, and I'm thinking, I'm an American, he's an American, I'm an actor, he's an actor, I'm just gonna say hi. And I went, "Excuse me, Mr. Hoffman, I just, I'm an actor, and I got about that far, and he got up out of the seat, and he moved back.
Well, let me finish Ben's story.
Ladies and gentlemen, Joe Flanagan hour.
Is the Hop in the crowd? Because I feel we're getting the X's just damned on us here.
So anyway, 2 years later, I was cast in a play on Broadway where Dustin Hoffman was the lead. And I was a spear carrier. And the first thing that happened, the show had been running in the West End for ages, and now it was on Broadway, and Dustin wanted to reblock a scene, and Peter Hall wasn't there, so the associate director was standing there, and Dustin spent an hour trying to get the scene right, meaning he was reblocking it, and he's running around, he's doing his stuff, the puppet thing, and everybody's standing there, and it's already 30 minutes past when we're supposed to go to dinner break. And I was standing at the back of the stage, and no one's going to say anything because it's Dustin Hoffman. So, the last thing I said to Dustin Hoffman was,
Story's getting better.
So, Dustin, this is going on, and finally from the back of the stage, the spirit carrier goes, "Dustin, you're wrong! Yeah, that was everyone's reaction on set. And he turned to me and we argued for 10 minutes.
Wow.
I said, yeah, you're trying to do this, you're trying to do that. And I go to the stalls and my wife said, you don't think you need this job? I said, what? Was I wrong? I said, no, you were right. Well, okay. So for the next week, whenever I walked by, it was dead man walking. No one in the cast would get near me. Dusty finally issued me into his room and he said, hey Ben, the other day, you know, that thing on the stage, were you okay about that? And I said, yeah. Are you okay about that? He said, yeah, I would have done the same thing when I was young. So keep doing that. So since celebrity distinctions are ridiculous. You know, between you and me, there is no distinction. If you want to wait an hour to say, hey, that's great, but you know, I'd probably wait an hour to see most of you guys.
How are we supposed to follow that, asshole?
Hey, Jason, I got a magic trick. You want to see it?
I tell you what, while you guys...
I'm uncomfortable. Very uncomfortable.
I was going to say, just as a tiny footnote to Ben's story, I was working with him on Farscape, and you know, it was a couple of weeks in and he mentioned, or I looked him up or something, and I saw that he'd done the Merchant of Venice in New York, and I went, wait a minute. And I went back home and I looked through this old little, just my herb chest, and I opened it up, and wherever I'd collected this stuff, there was a playbill. And when I was 16 years old, I'd gone to New York for the first time with my family, and my sister and I went to see The Merchant of Venice on Broadway, starring Dustin Hoffman, and in that playbill was Ben Browder. I'd seen him on Broadway however many years before. Weird and funny.
You're waiting an hour to get paused.
I'm nervous. I have kind of a funny one, it's not really, but I was at a convention in Toronto a few years ago, and it was the second day of it, and there was a green room back for all the celebrities. It was sort of a mixed bag convention with like horror also, and sci-fi, and yeah, everything, right? So it was quite a big one. And I was sitting in the green room by myself for a little bit, and just kind of sitting there, and the doors open, and I saw all the different celebrities that were there, and one of them was Alice Cooper. And you know, everybody knows what Alice Cooper looks like, right? So I didn't follow a lot of the music, but I was kind of like, it's Alice Cooper, that's pretty cool that he's here. I hadn't seen him yet. The doors open to the green room, in walks Alice Cooper, it's obviously him, with all his entourage with him, and he like comes straight towards me, and he goes, Paul McGillion. I'm like, yeah, hi. And he goes, dude, I am a big fan of StarGate. I said, well, that's really cool. Thank you so much. He goes, whoa, where's your accent? I said, well, I don't normally speak with a Scottish accent. He goes, oh man, you're freaking me out. I said, no, you're freaking me out. That's my little tidbit. David Copperfield?
I don't have any good stories, but did anyone see Terry Gilliam? He's here. I mean, I would love to see his panel. That's all I got.
Next question.
Yeah.
First, Ben, hey!
Hey!
A couple of years ago, they auctioned off the Star Trek, memorabilia, millions of dollars for these props. Have any of you hoarded or sequestered away props from the show, looking for the big payoff?
Talk to me later. We got a recession going on. We all know I'm not that good of an actor.
Yeah, talk to him later. Get over here.
There was a message, they're like, do not let him steal the wig. Like everyone, there was a thing on set because they knew I was gonna gank a whole bunch of stuff because I'm a thief. And everyone was warned to like hide that wig from me. So I still haven't got that one yet.
I know there was something I wanted that someone beat me to. On the last night of SG1, we were all sort of doing the rounds of everyone's different trailers, sort of talking about the good old times, and then we're like, yeah, those last 2 years. I was trying to sort of keep myself a little scarce because I hadn't been part of the whole 10-year amazing phenomenon. And as soon as we did the last scene, a couple of the guys just raced up onto set, went upstairs to command, and stole the red phone to the president. And I so would have taken that if I'd had the job.
I have my dog tags from SG1. But in Farscape, I have 2 items. I have Winona. Yeah. I also have the pair of underwear that Crichton wore in season 1 that then Claudia wore.
So they're mine, right?
Yeah.
They're counting.
So I have a pair of Claudia's underwear. It's true.
That
I also have a
explains
pair
it.
of Claudia's underwear. And a pair of Rachel's. And a pair of Joe's.
And you're wearing all 3 now.
Yes, I am. Jason doesn't wear underwear.
TMI.
I only wanted one thing on the last day, Jason. One
So
thing.
I stole her chair back on the last day, and I was like, oh, she was so broken up about it, and I was just going along with it. I'm like, man, must have been one of the crew members, whatever, and then I just totally forgot about it. And I meant to give it to her that day, and I was going through my stuff, and this is like 8 months later. I found it, and I meant to tell her, and then I forgot again. And we actually just found out on stage the other day.
Yeah.
The last convention we were at.
Yeah.
That's the thing that has Rachel's name on the back of the chair. If people don't know. That's that. Her chair.
Anyways, I gotta get that too.
Yeah, please. Thank you. That'd be nice.
If anyone wants to buy it, I have Paul Gillian's too.
He is a thief.
It's stuck to my head. Thank you.
Charming. Next question.
You heard it first on DC TV.
Joe's got his.
Yeah, oh yeah, by the way, I know I didn't get anything, and it was like the last day of shooting or something, and we won the People's Choice Award. Yeah. I was like pretty jazzed about that. That was like definitely something we were proud of. So I went into the producer's office, and I was like, yeah, it's been a good 5 years. Yeah, People's Choice Award up there. I won it. I took it. I got it. I didn't get a little upset. That's the one thing I got. I'm glad it's worth it. I don't have anything. Like I said, I don't have anything. I got an award that actually belongs to all of us. We need to work up a timeshare here. It's true. It should rotate to each person's house. So that's all I have. People's Choice Award.
I kept my little itty bitty Vala patches because hers were little baby ones. Special little ones. I can't believe they made special ones for me. I couldn't believe it. So I've kept them in a special box too. It's mine.
I kept my uniform from season 1. They don't know that, but I have it. And I also kept a little piece of that exploding tumor.
Claudia, the last time you were here, you were starting your house. How'd it go?
Oh, well, it's, I'd say 95% finished. new toilet seats. Although, as I was saying yesterday, I'm training 2 toddlers now, so I mean, I'm gonna have to get new ones soon enough. But yes, thank you for asking, and thanks for your help, guys. Last time I was here, I was desperately trying to finish our house before I gave birth in it. And it did end up being a home birth and not a Home Depot birth, so thank you very much. Next.
Hi, thanks y'all for coming. Quite often big companies have inter-urban, like inter-department ball games and soccer games and crap like that. Did you guys ever do any SG1 versus Atlanta's soccer day and just like kick each other's ass?
Yeah, it was just like that baseball day that they had in Twilight.
Is that softball?
Yeah, we did that. We did. Did we? Yeah, we did. We had invite.
Well, I played.
We had baseball matches.
We did. I don't know. Robert, do you play hockey?
No.
No, we did.
was hockey.
Our crew
Yeah,
had a
they
hockey
have-
team, so it was Atlanta's hockey team. We played other shows. And I don't think it was just
Soccer
StarGate.
too, soccer as well.
Yeah.
Soccer.
We went against Christopher Judd.
And Chris doesn't skate.
He drinks and he always wins.
And he doesn't play soccer. Yeah, they have an inter squad golf tournament.
There's a bench press competition.
I played golf
that all
the guy can hit like a sand wedge, right? 400 yards. I was like, you try a driver, maybe it'll go 800 yards. Of course, it never lands on the fairway. It goes through like a pack of cigarettes per hole. Too. It's like, wow! And he just got in before we tee off, usually. So, he impresses me.
Next question.
Hello again. So what's in store for each of you next with the StarGate franchise? And if you're not going to be in StarGate coming up next, as far as you know, what's next for you on screen?
What's up next? Is that what we're saying? Right?
Yeah, what are you doing next?
Next, I'm actually directing my first short film next week. I wrote it, a couple buddies and I are going to shoot it, so it'll be my first time doing that. I'm looking forward to that. I'll bring it next year.
I just finished an episode of Supernatural, another Paris Hilton's in the episode. I didn't have any scenes with her. Let's look up for that one. And then this season of Sanctuary, I'm a reoccurring character on the show.
Wow. Amanda had called me.
Dustin Hoffman also offered me a new film that he's doing. Which is going to be amazing because he wanted somebody that could handle a spear, and I said, no problem.
I'm going on tour with Alice Cooper. I'm looking for work. So, you know, pick up the phone.
I'll hire
you. Oh, what? Coaching? I do coach. I coach high school track and field right now. I coach pole vaulters. So, yeah, I know. I had 6 freshman girl pole vaulters. I can't get the guys to pole vault at the high school. We got 1 guy and 8 girls. I don't know why. I took 3 of those freshman girls, or they took themselves to the CIF 7 section finals in the state of California, which is huge. So I do that in my spare time.
I'm developing your show for sci-fi, which they
I have some stuff that is in development, and I have stuff that I'm writing, and I am auditioning on a fairly regular basis. So hopefully the right thing will come through next. I'm not really comfortable talking about what is next because if you look at IMDb slate about stuff in development, there's 15,000 things. So I tend to be rather tight-lipped, and I usually won't talk about something that is in development or that I have a script for until someone has decided they're going to do it. Meaning they're going to pay to get it made. And that's a critical issue in our business. So hopefully they're going to do a StarGate movie. They have scripts. So we'll find out. And as soon as we know something positive, we'll call you from the Arctic.
Well, seeing as how I spent the last StarGate movie vomiting in trash cans just off set with bad morning sickness, I don't know if they'll have me back. The only things I've done, I did a really cool game. It's taken a year for the actor part to be completed. It's a PS3 game called Uncharted 2. It's amazing. Like, the first game was fantastic. This one, we're all just blown away by what they've been able to do with it. And I've got, I don't know when the movie's coming out, but I did an animation film with Johnny Depp that was directed by Gore Verbinski from the Pirates of the Caribbean. And they're doing, it's sort of, it's a rival picture for the things that Pixar's been doing. It's taking animation to a completely different level, and from what I've seen, it's really incredible. So that, I think it's going to take a while. It may not come out until 2011. So in the meantime, I'm being a mama and waiting for the next gig, like, everyone.
Ditto, ditto, ditto. Being a mom, writing, shooting my first project right now. And potentially pitching it. We'll see. Like Ben, I don't really want to talk too much about it until I've done something with it. And I'm also looking to do more singing. I'd like to get more into my music, so that's what I'm doing.
Somebody asked us this question yesterday, and I think I did make the announcement that I did get a really big job at Denny's working for Jason, who's the manager.
But you got fired.
I'm like Ben. I don't feel comfortable talking about things that I don't know for certain, but I feel like there are good things on the horizon. I think they're close, so we hope.
Joe, I know, again, I'll speak on Joe Black here. Joe just did an episode of Warehouse 13. That, for my sources say it was one of the highest episodes ever on Sci-Fi of the show. Yes, Joe Black. He's a little humble about that, so that was just aired last week.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. What was it?
You heard me. No, I'm not going to give it to him twice.
The highest. It was the highest.
The highest episode. The highest episode ever.
The highest.
Apparently it's the highest.
Oh, so let me get this straight. The highest rated episode in Sci-Fi history?
I'll come close to
See, we gotta feed the StarGate fans. That's what we gotta do.
We were totally jonesing for you.
Thank you. Thank you.
First, I want to say you all did an awesome job on all your series. And Ben and Claudia, you brought the fun back in SG1. And my question particularly is to Claudia. Who was more fun to beat up, Michael Shanks or Ben Browder?
That would be like kissing and telling. That was my answer. Although I have to say that when I did meet Michael, when I came to do Prometheus Unbound, it very specifically written in this fight scene that it was funny, and I hadn't met Michael yet, and I walked onto set and I thought, oh, I don't know what this actor's going to be like, and I'm doing all my scenes with him, and I hope he's a cool guy, and I was standing in the hallway, and he walked straight past me, and I sort of went, problem. Awesome. And then I was standing on set and I just thought, oh God, this is going to be tough because I have all these ideas for the fight scene and it's supposed to be, I have all these ideas for the episode. And he came over and he went, oh my God. And he shook my hand like this, sort of classic Michael, kind of like really enthusiastically like this. And I said, oh, hi, I saw you out the hallway. And he was so embarrassed. He said, oh, I didn't see you there. And he was very apologetic. I thought, okay, this might be good. And it might be okay. My first day at school. And then he said, I have a couple of ideas for the fight scene. I hope you don't mind. And I said, no, great, what are they? And they were all about making his, goofy things that made him very unmacho, and it was all for the comedy of the scene. And I thought, well, I'm really going to enjoy doing a fight scene with this guy because, it was just so much fun, and we were given that opportunity based on the scene to sort of pull out of it whatever we could on the fun scale. So.
So you preferred Michael?
I prefer beating him up because it's all in fun, and with you.
But who's better kisser?
I would have loved to have got beat up.
But who's a better kisser?
Oh, no contest, baby.
Oh, Bridget.
No one knows about that one.
Next question.
Hello.
Hello.
It's great to see you all here. My question is for Rachel. I love that Taylor, she's such a strong, independent, just a great woman character on StarGate Atlantis.
Thank you.
And I love how when you were pregnant, you got to kick ass even though you were pregnant. And so my question is, how much fun was it to beat up Joe Flanagan Jr. back in the
A lot of fun. Good times. But Joe, Joe doesn't really like to rehearse.
Rehearse the fights. I told you, I like the gun.
Not that much, yeah. No, he didn't really like to rehearse the fight stuff, so whenever we got to filming, it was...
Well, yeah, because they always take you after a 15-hour day. They go, oh yeah, by the way, we need to rehearse that fight for tomorrow. And you'd be like,
There were some knuckle taps and bruising.
oh, don't even try.
I'm talking about for you, Joe, not me.
Little Rachel. I liked getting beat up by Rachel. Hope it's in the StarGate Atlantis movie.
Next question.
I got beat up by a lot of girls though too.
Hi, my name. This question is for Claudia and Ben. Specifically, what I'm curious about is what was it like for your character's development coming into a show that had such a history and background to it? And I mean, were you given tips? Did you guys develop it on your own, or try to distinguish your relatively new characters to the series from any of the characters that they had previously?
Wow. Well, I guess I'll take it first. Cameron Mitchell, I think that there was a learning curve for all of us in figuring out what to do with him because they didn't want him to be like O'Neill, and they didn't want him to even look like Dr. Jackson. And at the same time, they didn't want to do Shepherd because they had that going on. So I think there was a sort of honing process before we all figured out exactly what to do with the character. And probably still am about the whole process. But as far as integrating within the cast and integrating into the show, it was great. It was a fantastically welcoming environment, and my first day with Chris Judge, I went, we're gonna get on fine. I somehow found my soul brother in Chris Judge, which if you know Chris is a scary proposition. Just never go out with him, that's, so it was, I think it was okay, and I think the camera was different enough from Farscape, and I'll hand this over to Claudia Black.
I think I was really lucky because I did Prometheus Unbound, and it grew out of that. So they said, well, that worked, so let's see how we can make more out of that. So Rob Cooper called me, I think, and said, look, we really love what you guys did, and we're not sure what's happening with the show. So if SG-1 doesn't continue, there's a possibility of doing some kind of spin-off, and we'd really love you to consider joining us for that and continuing what you created with Michael somehow. So that was, we talked about that, and then they found out that they were being picked up again, and they said, well, would you come and just, oh no, and then Amanda was having her baby, so they said, while she's off, would you mind coming for 6 or so episodes and filling that vast gap of her character's absence and her absence on set, and just sort of throw Vala into the mix now. And she changed. I certainly changed her from Prometheus Unbound. I just took her to a greater extreme because Rob said to me, do what you want, basically. He said, which was awesome. So he said, just keep going along that line. You can do whatever you want, and if we don't like it, we'll just cut it out. So I thought, well, what worked was that I really irritated Daniel Jackson as Vala, so I'm just going to work on that for as long as they keep me. But she was just, she was the woman who was in denial of becoming a woman. She thought she was still a girl, and she was walking id, so she was just incredibly playful. That's how I allowed the character to develop, was what's the most playful choice I can make, basically, and the most annoying simultaneously.
This question is for Claudia. You got to wear a lot of really interesting and elaborate wardrobe pieces. What was your favorite, or do you have an interesting story about one?
I remember when the beautiful Christine Mooney called me and said, we're very excited to have you on the show. She was the costume designer. And she said, we're very excited to have you on the show, and I've got this great idea. You're going to be wearing black leather. And I said, haven't done that in about 4 months. Okay. And she said, no, wait until you see it. And I was just looking at it the other day. I found it when I was unpacking my office, and all the boxes that have been sitting there forever, and I found the original sketch, and I asked her to sign it for me, and it was the one with the stripes that crosses over, and she first arrives back at SG-1 and says, where's my Daniel? And
great one.
And I went up to Rob and I said to him, look, I have done the black leather thing for so long now. I really would love to branch out. I think this is an incredible outfit that they've given me as an entrance, and I'm hoping that this isn't what defines Vala. I love the idea of her being a Barbie doll, and so we went from there. And I just expected that I would get one costume for the season because I wasn't planning. I didn't know what the budget was like. And she said, "Oh God, of course you can wear this week, and then the next week you'll." And I mean, they literally got exhausted in the costume department because they got excited about the prospect of giving Vala all this new stuff. She was like a new toy for everyone. And Amanda would come in and say, "Oh man, it's so unfair. I've been wearing these fatigues for 8 years." So then they created that moment in the episode where Amanda's character took me out shopping, took Vala out shopping. So we could finally see her in some regular clothes. But it was the bling that did it for me finally. It was just those little barrettes that were actually my own for the most part, where we would buy a couple here and there, and Brenda and I would, pop them in because we thought it was so inappropriate in that context that, Vala bringing a bit of bling to the SG-1 was her major contribution to army fashion.
Because when you're going undercover off-world, you need bling. Just lay low, don't get noticed, hide in the bushes. Bling!
Hi, boys!
This question is for Joe. In seasons 4 and 5, it seemed like Shepard was a bit darker, more serious, more weight of the world. And I wondered if that was a conscious choice on your part or the writers, and if it was, then why?
Remarkably true to life. No, it was a decision. I think that Joe and Paul took over the last 2 seasons, and I think they wrote a little bit darker. So I think that we ended up with something a little bit darker. When we started the show, I was trying to distinguish between SG-1 and Atlantis, and the only analogy I can come up with was like SG-1 Superman, Atlantis is Batman. And I don't know that they liked that analogy. But I think for the last 2 years we went dark, and they did some things that were pretty interesting. And I liked it. I thought it was a good choice. But I think it could have gone with a little bit of humor, always to counterbalance the darkness. And but I liked, like, Vegas was a lot of fun to do, and I think it was pretty dark. We really had so many more storylines that could have been explored, so it's too bad. When you're doing these things, you don't know that it's the end. So it's not like that's the place you're trying to get to. You're just exploring things, and you hope that things evolved. And we were canceled. That's how that worked out. Water, I told you. Send water to the network. I'm totally serious.
This question is for Jason. What's the funniest thing you've ever done to somebody while on set?
How many kids are here?
Jason, you're on TV right now.
I don't know if I can tell him.
Turn off the camera.
I mean, we'll just do a PG version. I mean, no, it's not PG. I mean, I dry docked a lot of my, you know what dry docking is?
No.
Let me tell you. You go into your castmate's room, turn on that heater really high, turn off the water, let that water go down in the toilet, and you're real hungover, you got something brewing in you. You go ahead and leave it in that toilet, and no water, and then you leave it, you shut that door and you let it just fester. Let the heat warm it up, and you're just gonna go like that. That's all I got. That's dry docking. Next question.
That was a very good explanation. By the way, that was not done to me.
My question is for Paul and Rachel, and I was curious if you guys knew if there was ever going to be any future for Star-Crossed, everyone's favorite sci-fi soap from a dog.
Well, I know that David is working on it, and I know that he's talked with the network about it, and I don't know. I mean, it looks positive, but thus far they haven't done anything to greenlight it. But it's still out there, and it's still in the works, and it's still very much a part of what David's hoping to pursue. And if he does it, I'm sure that both of us will be on it. We had a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was definitely a lot of fun to play. And I just wanted to thank Jason for that, by the way.
I know, right?
Appreciate that.
Noble thing, and I've just realized in the last 2 minutes that I could have lived the rest of my entire life not needing to know about that.
Me too.
Sounds like you learned the hard way.
I kind of think that information will come in handy one day. I appreciate you teaching me that.
Dustin Hoffman, watch out.
I'm sure that falls into some category of like domestic terrorism. Really, it's horrible.
Next question.
On a totally different note, this question is for Joe. And it seemed like an Outcast, we got a little bit of the John Shepherd backstory, which we didn't really get in the series. And I would imagine as an actor, you had thought through some of that beforehand, and so I was just wondering.
I actually created that episode, Outcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if I got paid for it, but I did create it. I was supposed to get writing credit, but I guess I'm not Canadian or something, so they wouldn't give me credit. No, it's true. I'm being 100%. The unions are very strict in Canada, and so what I was able to take credit for was a little bit confusing. But I thought Outcast was a pretty good episode, and it was fun. It's always fun to go back to Earth and stuff. And yeah, I didn't want my dad to die. That was the only difference. I wanted him to be kind of like Christopher Lloyd, you know, and continue to like bedevil me for the rest of the series and stuff. Thought that would be a lot of fun, the creation of a character like that. But, well, they killed him. So, in fact, I never did a scene with the guy. I did it with his casket. And it was a good episode. I liked it. And I totally agree with you. There wasn't enough backstory being explored. And there's not much you can do except go upstairs and try to become friends with them and to write backstory for you. I guess I wasn't very good at it. I don't know. So, but thanks for asking.
This question is for Jason. A couple of my friends saw you in the dealer's room this morning and we were wondering what you bought.
Oh, in the dealer's room?
You were selling. Look at his shirt.
Rachel's chair.
Yeah, selling it.
I buy weird stuff. I bought like sumo slippers, Japanese sumo slippers, flasks, for water, and what else? God. That's it. Lingerie. Not for me.
I hear they custom make it. Has anyone got any of those fangs? They look amazing.
The fangs?
Yeah, you can get them customized. I so want to get
I
them.
do too, but there's appointments for
Let's do it.
How did you hear?
Right after the panel, man, we'll all get matching fangs. It lasts as long as tattoos, so if it's a huge mistake and we regret it, we can just take them off.
Very cool room. I just want to say before we go, we're going to have to go shortly. If you haven't already, come and visit all these fine folks up at the Walk of Fame. But after this, there's also the charity auction for Alzheimer's, which I'm hosting after this. So after you visited these guys, pop by and maybe buy an item or something for charity. It's a great cause, so if you get a chance to do that, it'd be great.
There's two little additional items that have been added to the charity auction. I don't know if there's a list already, but adding to it now shortly will be two barrettes that I wore as Vala on SG1.
Oh, I love those.
Also, Rachel's chair back. Yeah, joining the cause. And Paul McGillens.
One last question.
Okay, my question for you guys is, what is one of your favorite memories from the filming of Stargate or Stargate Atlantis?
Go ahead, John.
Yeah, you start on that.
No, we don't start down here.
There's so many.
Yeah, it's hard to get them.
I got very excited the first time I got to do a gate scene. I think it's one of the best props in film and television history. My personal opinion. And working on shows for so many years on that sort of British/Australian filming system, sort of Doctor Who type budgets from the BBC and what have you, it was aluminum foil and painting things purple and then you were in space. That's yeah, exactly. This is my imaginary space helmet. So to walk in and see the gate moving really shocked me. I didn't realize it was such a practical prop. And I was very excited. I just, I really solidified for me that I was there working on a show. I'd seen the original film years ago as a kid, and it just sort of, for me, was a really exciting moment.
Not so much, the series, obviously, there were lots of great things, but shooting Continuum and going to the Arctic with Amanda and Rick and Martin. Can you imagine that? Staying in a room with Rick and Martin? It was pretty cool. Very cold, actually. So, to be able to go to the Arctic, spend a week at 50 below zero, and be shooting a movie and have the U.S. Navy bring submarines through the ice for you, it is a mind-altering experience that it was a privilege to be able to do that. And, it was StarGate SG-1 that took me 200 miles offshore into the Arctic ice floe, being chased by polar bears. Cool.
I would have to say, hands down for me, is being tongued by David Hewlett. Creepy. Very, very creepy. Still getting over that.
I remember on the pilot, Robert Patrick for the first time, and he saw my wardrobe and just bowed and said, "Namaste." That was pretty cool. Seeing the Atlanta set for the first time was pretty amazing because, as an actor, you always paint an image in your mind when you read the script, and they just did such an amazing job with it, and they managed to create this world for us that was an extension of what we did, and it was terrific, and I remember being blown away when I saw that for the first time. The first table read that we had with everybody was pretty great, and getting to meet everyone, and you and two of us were just joking immediately. That was a lot of fun. I've got countless memories. I'm starting from the very beginning, so I could be talking for hours, but we just had terrific times, and we can continue, or I can keep babbling.
Mine, without a doubt, was watching Paul and David kiss. And by the way, it's not accurate, because you slipped him tongue. That was creepy. We convinced the director actually to keep rolling. It's supposed to be like kiss, and we just like kept it going. We changed positions. Kept going. They're good actors.
Have to be.
One of my earliest memories, my favorite memories, was being in the helicopter with Rick. It was like one of the first things we shot. And I was like, sweet, I'm in a helicopter with MacGyver, man. I just did a series with James Gardner, so I was like, I got Rockford, doing MacGyver. Life was good, and I handed Rick like a paper clip and a rubber band. I was like, this chopper goes down. I thought it was pretty funny, and then Rick goes, I think you're the first one to do that. So that was a lot of fun.
Okay, we're being told that we have to get off stage.
What's up? No.
Oh,
my favorite thing about the show is just, I loved when I first showed up there, seeing Ronan's gun and swords and outfit. I mean, Rachel, I had this idea of what I wanted to do, and I got there, and I was like, wow, there's so many talented people, and the things that they made and drew up, and I was just like, I was blown away. These laws, and I was just like, I'm a big kid, so I was just stoked. I went home that night, I was like, damn. First day of work is when I I spin the gun. I was like, I just went home. I broke my finger, that thing way too much. But just the character, and I mean, there's so many good memories, but he was a lot of fun playing.
Thank you so much, you guys. Thank you, everybody.
Hey, if I can have your attention, please. Everyone in the back section, we'd like you to remain seated. Security wants us to unload in zones. So everyone in the front, we're going to try and exit you out first.
Are we in the back of the front?
Yeah, you can unload through any set of doors, but we want everybody in the front to unload first.